Welcome to an eco-warrior's paradise, a display home equipped with at least 60 examples of environmentally friendly practices, things like washing all of your dishes at the same time. This week we're looking at how we can be more efficient with the world's resources by living and dying green. Coming up, you've heard of a megawatt, but how about a negawatt? This energy-saving concept is demonstrated at a home in Germany, which requires no heating at all. Next, from negawatts to these luwatts, waterless toilets offer a clever way to preserve our precious H2O. And finally, how better to end an eco-life than with an eco-funeral? We take a look at the business of green burials, starting with cardboard coffins and biodegradable urns. This home gives very practical examples of how we can be environmentally efficient in everyday life. Today, I'm joined by Charlotte from the Paris Town Hall. Can you tell me what is it that happens here that teaches people how to be environmentally friendly?
In this museum, Parisians can come and see what kind of things they can do to help save the environment. It could be improving biodiversity by putting plants on your windowsill, conserving energy by not overheating your house, or by using a separate bin for your recycling. There are lots of ideas.
One other thing is lighting, which is one of the best ways of showing energy conservation, and also a way to illustrate a new concept called the negawatt. Essentially, the negawatt is measuring the energy that we've saved when we're efficient in everyday life. Perhaps one of the best ways to show it is with two light bulbs, one a traditional one and one an eco-friendly one. Well, they both give off 40 watts. This one requires 40 watts, where this one only requires 8, a saving of 32 watts, or what we might call 32 negawatts. Homes known as passive houses are also an example of negawatt power. This next example from Germany.
This building looks like just any other. But once inside, visitors will be surprised to find that the only fire burning is a small candle sitting on the kitchen table. No gas or electric heating is needed. Triple glazed windows completely insulate the rooms against the outside cold. And say residents, that is sufficient.
You see outside, it's 0 degrees, while inside, it's 22.
Just heating some coffee generates heat for the building, thanks to vents and pipes in this double ceiling. Fresh air drawn in from outside comes into contact with the ambient air inside, which is heated by bodies, candles or electrical appliances. A pump then expels the polluted air and retains the warm air. It works perfectly and it costs practically nothing.
I pay only 10% of what I used to pay in other buildings. So heating bills are no longer a problem.
With its thick walls and 3 layers of glazing, the building is like a huge airtight cube. Airing the rooms is possible, but not for too long.
We can open the windows for 10 minutes when it gets a bit stuffy.
On the ground floor lives a family of musicians. Buying an apartment like this, which costs about 20% more than a regular one, is also a conscious lifestyle choice.
We really wanted to do something for the environment. It's important to think of the future we're going to leave to our children.
Germany's first passively heated building emits no carbon dioxide. And whatever the weather, there's no need to wear your woolies indoors.
Inspired by the trunk of a tree, Paris's public toilets are made from material which is entirely recyclable. The roof also catches rainwater, which reduces our water consumption by 30%. The toilets are being built around the world which require no water at all, reducing our need for the precious resource and creating biogas at the same time.
The toilet reinvented. Called the luwat, this new toilet doesn't use water, saving an increasingly scarce vital resource. And unlike other portable potties, it doesn't use harsh chemicals either to break down human waste. Instead, it packages the waste in biodegradable polymer film, sealing it in its own pouch and sealing out odors. The toilet's creator, Virginia Gardner, says this system takes waste and turns it into green energy.
The packaging combined with the human waste goes into the anaerobic digester and produces methane, and the packaging adds to the gas production. So what you've got is a system where there's actually incentive to treat the waste this way, and you can produce an economy around waste treatment.
Once the waste is fed into the biodigester, microbes break it down into methane, carbon dioxide, and other gases. When the biogas is burned, it converts back to carbon dioxide and water vapor. So it's clean burning and carbon neutral. It can easily be used for cooking. Gardner says the system is quick to set up and ideal for places where temporary toilets are used, like campsites, construction sites, and music festivals. The Luwat has been awarded a startup grant from the Gates Foundation. The team is hoping to see their toilets roll out in countries all over the world.
Living an environmentally friendly life doesn't necessarily have to end with death. For many years, people now have had the two options, that of burial or traditional cremation. But now there's a third option called biocremation or resumation. A body is put into a capsule-like chamber which is filled with water and the highly alkaline chemical potassium hydroxide. A process called alkaline hydrolysis breaks down the tissue, leaving only the bones. It's the same reaction that takes place when a body decomposes naturally, only accelerated. The bones are then cremated in the traditional manner and the liquid solution is released down the drain. Proponents say the process reduces greenhouse gas output by 75%. The world's first cremation was carried out successfully in October this year at a funeral home in Florida in the United States. For those who aren't ready for biocremation just yet, there are other ways to be green after death. Cardboard coffins and biodegradable urns are proving popular among environmentally conscious clientele, those who shun traditional products as being too costly and ecologically unsound.
Painted poppies, one of the preferred designs for these personalised coffins. Coffins made entirely from cardboard.
These coffins are 100% natural. They're made in France with recycled paper and the starch from corn and potatoes.
At 7 kilograms, they're 1/5 the weight of a normal coffin. Bridget sells them for almost €500. She's carved a niche in this green burial market, is the only provider in France.
We also offer families biodegradable urns made from salt, which dissolve quickly. We also have urns in clay and made from hardened sand.
Bonjour. Nadège is neither unwell nor old. She's not yet 40 years of age, but she's already placed her order.
After choosing cremation, I said to myself, well, it's really stupid to burn a wooden coffin. It's really unnecessary. And then there's the economic advantage as well. So really, there's a lot of benefits.
This is the warehouse we created in 2008. It's where we keep all of our stock. All these are cardboard coffins. Just to give you an idea of numbers, there's probably 400 or 500 there.
The coffins are easy enough to assemble, around 10 minutes with a little experience. Nevertheless, very few have been sold in France. The main reason, says Bridget, is too many crematoriums refuse to accept the cardboard coffins, even though it's safe and legal.
Coffins made from recycled cardboard have been around in Europe for more than 30 years, so I don't see why France doesn't use them. Obviously, it's a corner of the markets that I could take.
A market that is dominated by other funeral parlours, like the PFG, France's largest provider. It also has environmental initiatives, things like coffins without a polluting polish, water-based paints and new eco-friendly material. But overall, this home serves up traditional wooden caskets, the cheapest, more than €1,000.
I know that some colleagues sell coffins made of cardboard, but I also know that the majority of crematoriums refuse them for security reasons. For example, that the cardboard ignites too quickly. And there are also concerns around damaging the filters.
Michal Kavnik runs a funeral information association to help the layperson navigate the industry. He speaks of a funeral mafia in France, which does everything in its power to prevent greener, cheaper alternatives.
To die in a green way in France is extremely difficult. There's a very powerful funeral lobby and a lobby for wood, so that families can't buy coffins and materials other than wood.
More than 500,000 people die in France each year. And whether it's wood or cardboard, it's a huge market that remains relatively stable over time.
And that's all from the Environment team this week. Amidst the flowers that greet you at the welcome to the Batignolles Cemetery in Paris, I bid you farewell and look forward to seeing you here on France 24 next week.